Welcome to the Alchemist Show. I'm Robert.
And I'm Isaac. The Alchemist Show is brought to you by the Perryville Area Career and Technology Center. Coming up is Dragon Pants, sung by Dr. Sparkles. His music mostly consists of ukulele and instrumental songs and has been on the music scene since spring of 2006. This is Dr. Sparkles' song, Dragon Pants.
Shoulder pads or stonewashed jeans. Don't need no chinos or Harrington, you know what I mean. I don't need no leg warmers, my legs are hot. But I might just wear a piano tie knot. Dragon pants, I look good in my dragon pants. I like wearing my dragon pants. And I'm gonna do my dragon dance, yeah. Dragon pants, I look good in my dragon pants. I like wearing my dragon pants. And I'm gonna do my dragon dance, yeah. Dragon pants, I look good in my dragon pants. I like wearing my dragon pants. And I'm gonna do my dragon dance, yeah.
Let's talk about news damage reported by communities other than Perryville. A building in Wickliffe, Kentucky had part of the roof torn off by strong winds. The city of Cape Girardeau reports that the transfer station is closed right now as crews assess wind damage there. We've also received reports about damage at the Shawnee Sports Complex. There are also reports of a tree that fell on a house in Cape Girardeau, along with power lines down around the south part of town. Just to the north of us, an EF1 tornado touched down in Wentzville, Missouri, and left a lot of damage in its path. Ameren, Missouri reports power outages in the following counties: Cape Girardeau, Dunklin, Pemiscot, St. Francis, and Scott.
And I'm going to talk about the latest Justice League character getting their own live-action feature film, and that is Wonder Woman. This film has been in the making since 1996 and is finally coming to theaters June 2nd, 2017, with director Patty Jenkins as director and Gal Gadot starring as the Amazonian princess Wonder Woman herself. This story starts with a man named Steve Trevor crash landing in the Amazon, where he meets Princess Diana and tells her all about the trouble happening in America. She then decides to go back with him and fight in World War I by the name of Wonder Woman.
A non-swimmer rescues a drowning boy from a pool. Who knew? On Thursday night, a mother and her 5 kids were swimming and having fun at the hotel pool of the New Jersey La Quinta Inn when disaster strikes. One of her children slipped into the deep end of the pool with no knowledge on how to swim. Luckily, though, a hotel guest named Randolph overheard the cries to help from the child, and knowing he can't swim either, dove into the pool and saved the drowning boy. The boy is in a stable condition, and Randolph was hailed as a hero.
Afternoon, everybody. Your host Isaac here, and today we'll be showing you 2 popular songs. First on our list is Touching the Lonely by the Agrarians. The Agrarians mostly focus on specific genres, such as blues, psych rock, and experimental pop. Here it is, Touching the Lonely by the Agrarians.
Hi, my name is Bennett Turner, and today I'm going to play you a song from Free Music Archive. This song is called Internet from Massicot, which is spelled Massicot. This song, Internet, is about, you guessed it, the internet. This song brings up topics like cookies, mouse, but they never really explain it. They just sort of randomly say it whenever they please, which is very confusing. But the internet's confusing, so I think it works very well. According to Free Music Archive, this song fits under the post-punk category, which makes sense because it has a heavy sound to it. But it's also labeled as noise and Afrobeat. I don't even know what Afrobeat is, but you don't need to know in order to enjoy this song. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the band real quick. The band Massicot is from Geneva, Switzerland. The rhythm guitar player is Simone Aubert, and Leah Jacqueline plays a violin with some effects behind it to make it sound more electronic. And Colleen Grosjean plays the drums, and according to Free Music Archive, it says that her drumming style is from funk to krautrock. And last but not least, Mara Christina plays the bass as well as sings. So without further ado, here is the song Internet by Massicot.
Hi, my name is Jackson, and we are going to talk about Chick-fil-A, sickle cell anemia, and an act of kindness. It seemed like it would be just an ordinary day for Chick-fil-A worker Shaquille Williams, but little did he know he was about to receive some of the greatest news of his life. Shaquille and his family are not well off because one of the members being afflicted with sickle cell anemia has led to the family having to live in a small trailer to be able to afford medical bills. But a friend of his named Brian Smith was about to change that. Inspired by Shaquille's kindness and disposition, he decided to help pay for Shaquille's medical bills. Then one day while Brian was giving Shaquille a ride home, he decided to build his family a new house. It's like a blessing, Shaquille said. This shows that there is lots of kind people in the world.
Let's talk about another movie, Annabelle 2, coming out soon. Several years after the tragic death of their little girl, a doll maker and his wife welcome a nun and several girls from a shattered orphanage into their home, soon becoming the target of the doll maker's possessed creation, Annabelle. Here is a clip.
Hi, my name is Bennett Turner, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Emoji Movie. This movie was apparently in high demand because there was a bidding war between Sony, Warner Brothers, and Paramount over the script. What was the script, you ask? Well, the film will be about an emoji named Gene, a multi-expressional emoji who sets out on a journey to become a normal emoji. The movie will be set inside the world of a smartphone. The idea for this movie has been panned by many people, and the movie has not even come out yet. On a Rotten Tomatoes forum, a user had this to say: "Anyone planning to see this in theaters is causing the death of cinema as a medium." The only video released is one trailer on YouTube, which has a 95% dislike ratio. Tony Leondas is the director of the movie, and he also wrote the movie along with Eric Siegel and Mike White. Now, the cast. TJ Miller is Gene, an outsider emoji who can show multiple expressions. James Corden as High Five, a hand emoji. Sir Patrick Stewart as a poop emoji, which is obviously the magnum opus of his career. Jake T. Austin as Alex the Human, and the list goes on. Well, will the Emoji Movie be as bad as everyone says, or will the movie take America by surprise? Find out on August 4th, 2017 when the movie's released. My name's Bennett Turner. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Eric Weibrecht, and I've made a song for you this week.
You can see I'm in a mess, to be exact. Anywho, it's my pleasure to announce our first movie. Yay. It's almost too thrilling for words. So bring the family. Doesn't have to be your family. The Emoji Movie.
So I told management, I can't work like this. These lights, I'm melting in here. This is such a load of...
No, go ahead. Finish that sentence.
I'm positively euphoric right now.
Express yourself.
Hi, I'm Eric Weibrecht, and I made a song for you this week. Instead of just searching one for the internet, my inspirations for the song are a mixture of dubstep and a mixture of trap. This is Up the Party.
welcome back here with Caleb Compty. I hope you liked that song from Eric, because I got another one for you by Arcade Island called Spectrum, labeled by Clinical Archives, and its curator is CC Community. He's located in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, and founded in 2006 by Alex Boo. Arcade Island is an alternative musical project crossing multiple genres and objectives. His genre of music is alternative rocktronica, and Alex's hometown is Columbia. He started when he was 15, not waiting for anything, learned everything on his own, and hopes you like it. Thanks for listening. Enjoy Spectrum.
Take the road that's far from home. Take the road, don't go alone. Take the road that's far from home. Take the road, don't go alone. Take the road that's far from home. Take the road, don't go alone. Take the road that's far from home. Take the road, don't go
Hi, my name's Bennett Turner, and now it's time for some good old silly celebrity news. On Celebrity Week of on The Price is Right, Jack Black was playing for a charity called the Society of Women Engineers. He was paired with a non-celebrity contestant. The contestant spun the wheel, and when he landed on a 95, he was so excited that he went to give Jack a good old high five. Well, the high five went horribly wrong because he missed Jack's hand and full throttle slapped him in the face. So, remember, if you ever feel like you give a bad high five, just remember at least you didn't slap Jack Black in the face on live television.
My name is Jackson, and we are going to talk about movies, specifically pirate movies. Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales is expected to be released on May 26, 2017. This film will feature talented actors such as Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Javier Bardem. Directed by Espen Sandberg and Joachim Ronning, this is a fantasy swashbuckler you can't miss.
Jack Sparrow. Do you know this pirate?
Only by name.
Find Sparrow for me and relay a message from Capitan Salazar and tell him death will come straight for him. Would you say that to him, please?
Mollywood here, and today I'm going to talk about the complete mayhem in Henrietta, Oklahoma, when a local Valentine's Day dance was canceled. Joni Isabella had recently opened up a vintage shop with an empty second floor and decided to host a Valentine's Day dance in it. The town was super excited until one problem came across, and that was the town had a law banning dances within 500 feet of the church. Sounds kind of familiar to an old Kevin Bacon movie we all remember. Joni ended up canceling the dance.
Brandy's here with some music, once again showcasing a range of electronic and dance move genres from the funky house of fish funk and the deep, minimal dance floor grooves of blast culture to the chilled remixes of psychedelic pedestrian. Here's Shot in the Dark by Beat Doctor.
Just a shot in the dark.
Hi, my name's Bennett. I'm here with Eric and Caleb, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. So, the Nintendo Switch was released on March the 3rd, and it's gotten some really good reception. Just in the last few days, it sold over 800,000 units only in America, just in the first 8 days of launch. So, if you don't know much about the Nintendo Switch, the basics is that it's a quote-unquote hybrid console, which means it can be taken on the go wherever. It's basically a handheld and a console combined. It has 3 modes: television, which you put the Nintendo Switch tablet on a dock, and then you play with a controller on your TV. And then tabletop mode, which is you can put the Nintendo Switch tablet on, a tabletop. And then portable mode, which is how it serves as a handheld console. And so something to talk about is the launch titles. That was something people weren't too excited about because there are only 12 launch titles released with the Switch. And out of all of them, there were only 2 titles made by Nintendo. A couple of the titles would be 1-2 Switch, Fast RMX, Just Dance 2017. Just not really some interesting titles. Obviously, Breath of the Wild was a title that everyone was excited about, and it's gotten extremely good reviews. Tons of websites have been saying it's a 10 out of 10. But is a Nintendo Switch really that good of a console? Because according to websites I've seen, the new Nintendo Legend of Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, only runs 720p, 30 frames per second. But it gets a little better once you actually play it on the television instead of mobile. It's 900p. So that's not really too good because when it came to the Wii U, which flopped, everyone was complaining about how the Wii U only ran 720p, 30 frames a second, and all these other consoles like Xbox and PlayStation were running higher speeds. But if you look at the Switch now, it's still running 720p. Only advantage is that it's up to 900p on television, which still isn't anywhere near the competitors. But that's not all. When it comes to the non-gaming apps like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, or even just web browsing, the Nintendo Switch hasn't released any of that yet. They keep saying that there's more yet to come. What do you guys think about that? I think that they should have waited to release a Nintendo Switch because there's a whole bunch of amazing games that have been announced but aren't going to come yet until summer or fall. What do you guys think?
I agree with you on that because if they would have waited longer, maybe they might have announced more video games that might have attracted more outsiders' attentions. For instance, you might have people that are so used to playing on the Xbox or just a regular Wii itself that they might want more of the physical type movement or the more of the lean back. They don't really want to go on the go too much or anything like that, but they want their type of games instead of what they're used to.
Yeah, because I feel like if people wanted a handheld game, they would have just bought the 3DS. But needless to say, the Nintendo Switch has still been doing amazing because the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now officially Nintendo's best-selling launch title for any console. That's outnumbering the Nintendo 64 with Super Mario 64. And it makes me think of when it comes to games consoles like Xbox, I assume that their launch lineup was a lot higher and it got people more hyped up, but especially with their presentation, because it was a while back, like in February, a Nintendo Switch had a presentation that Nintendo held. It was live, and they were announcing all these games, but only one game was announced to come out on the release of the Nintendo Switch, and that was Breath of the Wild. So, well, since there's so much hype for what's to come in the future, I want to talk about some first-party exclusive games in the Nintendo Switch that are going to come out. So we have Splatoon 2. Have you guys played the original Splatoon at all?
No.
Well, I definitely have. Splatoon is a third-person view shooting game, and instead of actually shooting people with guns and blood and stuff, it's just paint, which there was a lot of backfire on that because Nintendo has always been sort of a joke, I guess, in the Xbox and PS4 community, or just PlayStation community in general, because they're marketed as a kid's console in their eyes, and Nintendo finally releasing a shooting game, but instead of having actual shooting, it's just, splatting people with paint, had people roll their eyes. But I think it was a really good game. It had some cool sort of game techniques to it. It was really fun to play. It has introduced really unique shooting aspects that I have never seen in a shooting game before. What do you think about games like Call of Duty having any place on Nintendo Switch? Do you think that'll ever happen?
I don't really think that any Call of Duty would ever go on the Nintendo because, like, I'm with you on this one. Nintendo is more of, like, a family-based setup. So putting out there a blood and gore game doesn't exactly sound like it would exist on the Nintendo.
Yeah, but Nintendo is trying to sort of branch out to the more, I guess, quote-unquote, hardcore gamers, because one of the games they have announced is that they're putting a port of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim onto the Switch. So that's interesting, but that also kind of scares me because, especially with the launch, most of the games are just ports. Elder 5 Scrolls is already released on Xbox and PlayStation before the Switch, and games like Human Resource Machine or I Am Setsuna, which came with the launch title of the Switch. Other things like Shovel Knight, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman. Actually, that one was a release title, but World of Goo. Nearly half of those games were already made before the Switch, and people were already able to buy them before the Switch. So what was the use of buying a Switch for those games unless all you had was a Nintendo Switch, But I still haven't talked about all the first-party exclusive games. There's also Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which, if you don't know about that game, that's a RPG-style game. So I think that's also another attempt at them of branching out because, the stereotype of hardcore gamers that they love to play those RPGs or MMORPGs. So they're trying to sort of get into people that maybe play RPGs on their PC. So I've played the original Xenoblade Chronicles. It was really interesting, so I'm excited to see how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 comes. There's also a new Fire Emblem game, which is an RPG style. Have you guys played RPG games at all?
Not too much.
Yes, a lot.
What kinds of games?
I mostly play like first-person shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield. That's about all I know right now. That's all I really play, mostly.
Mm-hmm. I think they got a port of games like Assassin's Creed or Battlefield onto the Wii U, but it didn't really sell too well.
No.
And another complaint people have about the Nintendo Switch is that there's no backwards compatibility. They now have cartridges instead of CDs, so you can't play old games. Which leads me to my last point, which I think will end on a pretty funny note. Nintendo doesn't want little kids eating the cartridges or pets eating the cartridges, so they've added a bitter taste to the cartridges so that people won't eat them, so kids won't choke. But you know what grown adults are doing? They're putting the cartridges to their mouth to see how it tastes, and obviously it tastes bad. So that's a new trend going around. Have no idea why grown adults are doing that, but that's about all I have to say. Thank you, Eric and Caleb, for talking to me about the Nintendo Switch. It's already released. You can go ahead, get out there right now. I would recommend Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Very good game, I've heard, but that's about all I have to talk about. Thank you.
The tortoise and the hare may have been pals in old folk tales, but those two companions have been best pals since Wamba, the tortoise, accidentally saved the bunny's life. When Ron visited his tortoise enclosure the other morning, however, he found another creature residing inside, a tiny baby bunny. The bunny had reportedly been wandering through the surrounding wilderness when it came across Wamba's cozy heated enclosure. When Ron found the bunny resting with the tortoise, he found that there were several layers of matted weeds and grasses constricting its windpipe. If no one had examined the bunny, it likely would have choked to death. Ron and Wamba will look after the little critter until it's healthy and full grown. Whether it will return to the wild or choose to stay with their new friends remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, they will cross the finish line together. That is all that we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Alchemist Show.